Hey guys, welcome back. AmHidden here. We're going to try to color this image in this now 5th part of the ongoing tutorial series. Maybe I'll be able to get to shading, but it would probably be a better idea to just do color here. Depends on how much time we have left. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So coloring, there's a lot that goes on here. I can go over color theory, but not in this video. This is just covering how I choose to do things. Color theory it's a hot mess, and I don't quite understand it. I'm not too good at it, and I can do a video on it, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, or at least not right now. Alright, so what I did here is I made a folder. This is for Clip Studio EX, or Clip Studio Paint EX. But I'm sure you can do it in most programs. So I made a folder, and then I put a layer in that folder. Then I added another folder and added another layer in that folder. So what that did here is I'm going to show you. I'm going to set everything to be this blue color, right? So this is the base color in that folder. So you can see it's everything, right? But now I'm going to clip this folder onto this folder, which how to clip mask right here. It's this button that allows you to clip. And what that does is if I go up to my line art, I'm going to select everything that doesn't need to be colored in my line art. And this is why it was so important to make sure that all of the areas were closed. I'm going to go ahead and erase that by pushing the delete key. Now I'm going to go under this. This is just for me. I really, when I'm coloring, I don't like bright whites. It's very distracting, disorientating for me, so I'm going to put a dark gray behind it. But now I'm going to show you what this clip layer does. All right, so I'm going to take a really dark blue here so you can see the contrast. So I'm going to, if you see what I'm doing here, the clip layer does not allow me to draw outside of what it's clipped to. I mean, it does, so I can go up here and turn off the clip. It did actually go over, but if the clip's turned on, it stays clipped to the layer. So that's really useful. I use it non-stop, very powerful, pretty easy to learn. Sorry about that. Pretty straightforward. So now that we have that, I'm gonna go. This is generally what I start with. I start with the white of the eyes. Which, you know, I have the base color blue right now. I'm probably going to switch that to a skin tone, but I just had it blue, so that's what I'm going to do for now. Now you can see already, like, little bits of the paint tool. I mean, the paint tool, the paint bucket, is not perfect, so you're going to have to be careful and make sure that it fills in the areas right. I'm going to add another layer because when I color, I like to add a lot of layers. You're going to see that very soon. We'll have dark blue hair. Very anime-like. I don't know. Blue hair has always been very anime to me. Make sure I close in as many gaps as I can. So you can see right here, I'm going to use the close fill tool for this spot because it's just easier. And just make a big circle around whatever I want to be closed. I can actually turn off the line art and you can see like areas like this and this and this that I can go ahead and knock out. But not too important because the line art actually will block most of it. So hold on one second. Yeah, I've got like something in my throat. It's bugging me. Anyways, so there's another issue is where the bucket tool didn't quite, and it's hard to see. I would have to zoom in really close for you to really be able to see, but you can see right here, the bucket tool didn't quite go all the way. Not really super necessary, but if you're that kind of person that cares, then you can zoom in and fix that. I'm actually going to go ahead and just throw green for the eyes. I'm really randomly picking these colors, and there's a reason for it. And I'll show you when we get to the shading why I'm just kind of like throwing down colors without caring too much. And it's because, well, to be fair, there is a certain degree of just knowing what I can get away with. but I'm also kind of setting up an example later for something I have in mind. It was probably a mistake not to just use the background layer as the skin tone, but I mean, it could work. We'll see. Actually, there's not that much skin showing, to be honest. So it might have actually been better to do that. I guess we're gonna use like dark browns for like leather armor here. I don't really care for that. Too saturated. That'll work. Will work. Maybe black. So each layer that I'm using color for, I'm just like, except for the belt there, I didn't do that. I'm actually going to use the same brown, but just a little bit darker and a little bit closer to orange for the gloves. Because I don't want it to. I'm doing that on the belt layer. That was probably a mistake, but I'm gonna roll with it. Do that up there. We can actually take this color, bring that to here, do the same color as the boots. And I realize now that we're probably done with coloring. I mean, yeah, you know, that's why I use the bucket tool. I know people like freak out about the bucket tool, but I mean, geez, did you see how fast I did that? You know, I'm gonna go ahead. What I just did there is I added the line art to a new layer and then added the color inside that folder as well. Not new layer, new folder. And then I'm going to go to the folder's effect properties inside of Clip Studio, which is right here. And then I'm going to add this circle, which is a border effect. I'm going to increase that border, turn it to black, and that's just really going to make it stand out, and then kind of lower it to something I like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the shading method. We actually got to the shading method in this video. That's incredible. So actually might be able to just finish the series off now. So what I'm going to do now is, this is something that I've been doing for a little bit now. And that's first taking a light blue for the midtones. Okay. Maybe a little bit darker than that. Right. So something like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the gray here, and this is just to set an example. I wouldn't do this normally, but it's helpful to know where the light source is coming from, right? So I'm going to pretend there's a big light bulb or whatever there, and then we're going to go back into this blue folder that I just clipped to the original color. So you have the colors here, so I'm going to turn off the one. So this is clipped to the blue, right? And then I clipped something on top of that folder, and that's going to be our shades. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top layer in that folder. I'm going to take white, and anywhere that I can see like light would touch. So like up here, right through here, maybe down a little bit, up. Wait, hold on. Up, around. And this is really just kind of eyeballing. And it's not an exact science. I guess I could do that spot there. Come in through here, come down. And granted, I might regret some of the choices that I just made there, but we'll see. Right, and then... yeah, I'm definitely going to regret that. Anyways, so I'm going to fill that. Oh, shoot. I used the... oh, wow. I didn't even mention that. Okay, so I'm glad that I noticed this. So you have two bucket fills. You have refer only to editing layer, which basically covers everything in that layer. And then you have refer to other layers, which takes into consideration every layer that is visible. So it is taking into consideration the line art and the color and the layer that it's on. So I can come in here and then just fill in all of these spots. Oh shoot. I should probably zoom in a little bit so I can actually see what I'm doing. I was kind of just guessing what I was doing there. And you can see that my art suffered for it, so, or the quality suffered for it. Just going to clean this up a little bit. Try to think about where shadows would drop here. So we know that if the light's up here, there's going to be a little bit of shadow under this hair right here. And I'm going to come back up here and just close that out. And again, I'm using the C button to shift between white and transparent when I want to erase something here. So if you look at the bottom right here, you'll see that happening. So I'm going to bring that over here and then do this, and then bring that down, up, down. And like I said, it's pretty straightforward what I'm doing. It's not straightforward. I guess what I should say is that I've done this so much that it feels straightforward, but I'm just imagining where the light would fall, right? Oh shoot, I grabbed black somehow. So I imagine the light would be right here, and it wouldn't be right here. So we're getting close to time, but I'm gonna try to finish this video here. So the actual shading, we might only do one tone, and I can do a whole video on two toning or something later. So we're just going to use the blue for the mid-tone, and then we're going to do white for the highlights, and that will be it. We could add easily a darker color to actually emphasize shadows, but I don't think we're going to get there in the allowed time, so I'm just going to add, if you look on the collarbone here, light would probably touch that. If you look at the eyes, this would reflect light. I'm going to add a little bit of white around the eyes anyways. I say a little bit. I'm actually going to whiten the majority of the eyes here because I personally like eyes to really stand out in what I'm doing. I'll actually go an extra step to make sure they do, and that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to do a little bit of light on the teeth to kind of emphasize that they are reflecting light. I'm going to zoom out, maybe a little bit on this belt. There's plenty of places that I could do it. Right here on the gloves, kind of follow the curvature of them. We could even do a little bit right here, a little bit up there, and right here, and right here. Clean those up a little bit. Maybe one right here, some down here. I know my commentary right now is fantastic, but I'm like rush hour because I can see the timer and I see how much time we have left, and it's not much. And I would really like to finish this now. So we're gonna go ahead and consider that done. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to set this folder, the entire folder, set it to multiply, and that is going to be our lighting. Now I can tell you that because I was so rushed, it looks a little bit darker than it should. So I'm going to push this out a little bit, bring that in, and since it looks a little bit too dark, there's a really easy way to fix that. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the mid-tone right here. I'm going to turn its opacity down. And there we go. Alright guys, that's basically all the time I have left. If y'all want a more in-depth video on any of the sections we covered in this tutorial series, feel free to ask. Leave comments, like and subscribe if you have to, want to, whatever. I have 30 seconds left on the timer, so I'm going to call it here, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.